Marrying for love? Cute. But in Heian, Japan, 794 to 1185, that was a luxury no highborn lady could afford. Marriage wasn't about romance. It was a career move. The right match could catapult your family into political power, because let's be real, in the Heian court, your actual skills mattered less than your family connections. The ultimate goal? Marry up, secure influence, and, if you're really winning, produce an heir with imperial blood, preferably an emperor or a powerful noble, because that's how dynasties were built. The first step? The letter. A Heian man didn't just slide into your DMs. He sent a meticulously handwritten love letter. But this wasn't your average "you up" note. This was Japan, so naturally, it had to be poetic, the calligraphy flawless, and, get this, scented with incense, because smelling good was just as important as writing well. Even the way you folded the paper, a whole status flex. But let's be real. Do you think these high-ranking men were painstakingly writing love poems themselves? Absolutely not. First impressions were everything, and a sloppy letter could ruin a man's romantic career. So many of them hired professional scribes, aka ghostwriters, to craft the perfect poetic masterpiece. And if your reply was just as impressive, game on. Here's where things get spicy. A man had to visit his love interest 3 nights in a row to seal the deal. But make no mistake, this wasn't a secret affair. The woman's family knew exactly what was going on but pretended otherwise, because Heian etiquette. If he disappeared after night 1, scandal alert. The woman's reputation was toast, and her chances of landing another good match? Slim to none. But if he stayed all 3 nights? Congrats, you're now legally married. No priest, no rings, just 3 nights of sneaky rendezvous. And that third morning? Oh, that was the real test. The guy couldn't just sneak out the back like some Heian-era ghoster. He had to face the family at breakfast. And let's be real, they'd all been pretending to hear nothing for 3 nights straight, but were absolutely listening for any sign of movement in the morning. Did they hear him getting dressed? Still there? Good. Time to roll out the formalities. The family, in their besto, what a surprise, act, would greet him like he just happened to drop by for tea, while politely pretending they didn't just hear their daughter entertain a guest for 3 nights. Awkward small talk, a formal breakfast, and boom, official husband mode activated. And if you think the sneaky rendezvous was weird, get this. After the 3-night rule sealed the deal, the wife didn't move in with her husband. No, he came to her at her family's estate, visiting at night and leaving by morning. If she had a child, the baby wasn't raised in his house but in hers, giving her family the real power move. Only if her family's status wasn't high enough would she eventually relocate to his home. But for noble women with powerful clans, the men came to them. Translation: whoever raised the heirs held the power. And what about the other women? That depended on rank. The primary wife, Saishitsu, kept her family's influence and stayed put. Secondary wives, Konami, might enjoy the same privilege, but if their status wasn't high enough, they had to move into his residence. As for concubines, they had no say, straight to the husband's house. But here's the twist. While men technically had multiple wives, the real power play was happening under the wife's roof. Because when your family raises the next generation of heirs, you call the shots. So, what changed? Samurai culture. By the Kamakura period, 1185 to 1333, military rule replaced the poetry-loving, love letter-obsessed nobles of the Heian era. The samurai were all about discipline, hierarchy, and, most importantly, control. The idea of children growing up in the mother's household, away from the father's influence? Absolutely not. Samurai clans needed loyalty, clear bloodlines, and military-trained heirs under their watch. So, by visiting marriage, wives were now expected to move into their husband's household, where they had less independence, and their children were raised under his authority. In Heian, Japan, marriage wasn't about love. It was a career move, a social contract, and a political power play. And while modern dating is its own disaster, at least we don't have to wait for a handwritten haiku to get a text back.